Yeah, there was points where I thought we were going to win, and then at times I just didn't think we had it.
I don't know why we just dominate so much.
I was embarrassed to play.
It felt like I just ran out there without a gun, just got shot.
They pretty much just stomped us out.
We're not losing.
In 2009, we lost Shane Pastelna, and we were still really rolling from the previous years.
And we kind of had a lot of soul searching because realistically, we didn't really produce much at all in 2009. And so going into 2010, we recognized that, not having Shane as a coach in 2009 really hurt us.
It's hard to find coaches in paintball. There's only a few guys out there that qualify and that you actually want around and respect. So it was tough. Losing Shane was a huge loss for us.
Aftershock called me and they said, hey, we want to work out a deal to have three guys come play with us. It kind of worked out well where, hey, I can bring all these guys, we can all go and stay together, and everyone's not left out in the cold. So personnel-wise, man, Aftershock was awesome. All those guys, it was like going and hanging out with guys that you've known for a long time, for like that you played basketball with when you're 10 years old.
In Phoenix, we had a few new players. We brought Ryan Cohen in from Texas, from X Factor.
Well, we've always wanted Glenn to play with us because he's always been a thorn in our side whenever we play against him.
He was always one of those guys that I wanted to play with, though. He's Asian. Yeah, and he's real good. He's a smart player. Like, I've played against him so much that he's gotten the better of us sometimes. And it's like, oh, Glenn, do Glenn again. No.
He'll win those 2-on-1s. You know, when it's a 2-on-1, we don't throw in the towel. And I think he won a 3-on-1 last year. But just juking people in X-ball, which is like one of the hardest things to do, to like kind of move around with a coach sitting right there and just shoot all three guys before they even know what's going on. That's the kind of player Glenn is, and we've always known that.
Just decided to make a decision to leave the Ironman. I feel like I gel with everyone on this team very well.
Everyone kind of thought that we were all gonna there's gonna be a lot of egos going on, and we all got together and honestly clicked right away. It was like, oh my God, we're all meant for each other. Like, this is so good. And we went in that tournament and just started smashing people.
They had completely spun around, and the guy was in our corner, snake side corner, and Billy came around and totally chumped the guy and bunkered him in our corner. So it's 2-on-1, and Billy pulled off the 2-on-1, grabs the flag, and hangs it on our side. And you know, giving them the point, kind of like deflating us like right away. You know what I mean? Like, and they go on to win the tournament.
I don't understand how that can happen. It's like, I'm starting here. I'm playing against you over there. I grab the flag over there and I have to hang it here, you know, not back over, you know, like I don't run back to my flag station, especially when I'm playing you like this and we're shooting at each other. I don't run backwards to hang the flag. I usually, you gotta go forwards and hang it. Especially in the end, you're like, yeah, I won. Ha! Because he started dancing around and he's like, oh, and then we're all laughing and he's like, what are these idiots laughing at me for? And he goes, and then he goes like this, he's like, oh, oh.
I really felt we just came up short just a little bit, and it's frustrating because you know it's the first event. You gotta come out with some fire. We didn't make Sunday, and that's a real kicker for the start of the season.
We almost missed the cut at that event. We had left, and you know some of our guys flew home.
I mean, I flew home back to Edmonton for a funeral.
The other guys went, and we thought we were out, and we were just kind of getting ready to party. And then we found out that that overtime point wasn't there anymore, so we were in.
Just getting the call back at 7 o'clock at night and saying, hey, we got another chance to do this. Let's restart. Let's rethink this.
And then I think once we got that, oh, we're in, everyone kind of boosted it up and we're like, okay, we still got a chance at this, let's keep going.
We snuck in and we ended up playing really good on Sunday.
It seemed like no matter where we went and tried to get out wide, we just got shot. We'd try and go short, try to go up to the X, got shot. No matter what we did, we just got blown to pieces.
Into the semifinals, kind of stepped on our dicks because I think we had our heads held a little too high at that point, you know how that goes. So
Impact had thought they were going home. They got a second chance, and they were hungry.
You can't ask for a better start to a year than coming to a new team and winning the first event.
Looking back at it, after, say, a couple days after I got home, and I was sitting there, I was like, we got a really good team, and we can do a lot of good things. After Phoenix, it was just like, I want to get back to work. I want to get back to practice. I want to work with these guys. I want us to be this cohesive unit that I know we could be.
Chicago rolled around. It's rainy, it's muddy. Somehow it's still hot.
It was like old Badlands, going there and grinding.
The team really kind of fell apart and we saw all our weaknesses, come out.
at nighttime on Saturday, this torrential downpour just started. These great fields turned into mud pits.
Honestly, it was awful. I'm hearing like rumors that it's actual fucking dead horses and shit on the ground that we're playing on. Thanks, Badlands.
It sucked. It was slippery. The start gate was horrible. It's hard to catch your footing.
Playing in weather like that sucks. You know, paintball is only good when it's sunny out.
You slide past your bunkers.
Your equipment doesn't work.
You get your foot stuck and then you just face plant and you're eating mud.
You're cold. Most likely you're up early, so you're already grumpy.
You take more core samples in your barrel.
Paintballs don't shoot straight.
Rain's going into your goggles, so it fogs you up. You can't see.
It's probably one of the worst sports to play in shitty weather.
People come up to me like, man, you guys playing this all the time? And I'm like, yeah, like it's not that bad. So, but I mean, it's paintball. If you want to grind, that's part of the grind.
We did well the first day. We won our 2 games, and then we got stomped out.
Smashed Infamous 7-0. They got a couple penalties. We beat them bad. When there's a field where you can go from your end to their end without them seeing you just crawling low, that's always going to be the side that wins the game, because if they can't stop you, just go all the way, come up and shooting everyone in the back.
Probably one of the worst beatings I've ever taken from Aftermath. We get another chance.
It's funny how that is. You can smash a team the day before, and then the next day you can get beat by them, and that's what happened. We played Infamous on Sunday, and they beat us 7-3.
Just didn't shoot anybody. Sometimes it's just that simple. You just didn't shoot. We didn't shoot anybody off the break.
Like the things that the one game plan you'd plan for Chad running out to the Dorito side, he wouldn't do when you'd go to shoot it. And then the next point, you'd say, okay, well, he didn't do it at that point, so we're gonna shoot straight on. Well, he'd do it. And it was so frustrating.
Coming up against Impact, who we owe from last event, and it's like all these redeemers. Tie the game with like a minute left. I remember coming back out for that 6-6 point. Like I love those points, man. That like really gets me up. Just those situations, like what every competitor dreams of.
We got one more plus game. Okay, how bad plus do we want?
Get us our next team, please.
You change your whole game plan around. Like, you can't get out of the back center. Like, your cleats get heavy, your pants get heavy. Everything on you is 10 pounds heavier with all the mud, all the rain. Ripped my whole gun back, ripped my arms back, and then I just kind of stopped and I flopped. Oh my God, what happened? I thought I destroyed my shoulder because my shoulder hurt real bad, like right when it happened.
You got to change everything about the way you play, really. Especially when you practice the field, you know, you're taking that corner of the game, and then now at the field, it's a slop fest. You can't even make it to like right outside the back center.
I think it really did affect our play style.
You know, when you look at someone, you look them in the eyes and you just see that spark, like, no matter what, I'm going to give you 110% of everything I have this next game. And every single one of us had that in our eyes.
I remember calling up my mom's and just like, yo, we made it to the finals. She's like, kick their ass. Kick their ass for me. It was my birthday. I don't lose on my birthday. It's the best birthday present I could give to myself.
I got a major, second or third point. They scored 4 points, I believe it was, on my major.
That was not an easy task. They came back, and I was like, no way, man, this is not happening. Ran down, Callie stayed alive. Timmy tried to play on. Callie gave him some extra, grabbed the flag, did his fist pump.
My first professional win. I was on top of the world for it, man. It was awesome, especially having all the guys there. Like it wouldn't have meant as much if I didn't have the group of guys I had around me with me. It was awesome.
Honestly, Chicago was just kind of a really crappy event for us.
We're halfway through the season now, and we haven't played Sunday. Why isn't this coming together? What are we doing wrong? What's happening?
The team was kind of falling apart.
You know, we put our tail between our legs and got out of Chicago like we weren't even there.
We needed drastic changes to improve for the rest of the season and for seasons coming. After Chicago hit the drawing boards and had to figure it out, or our season would just be in shambles and our team could just fall apart at any second. I kind of feel like the Ironman, we really lost momentum when we lost Shane Pistana.
And I think we'd gotten so used to having Shane as a coach in Chicago when we started doing bad, like that was just a crutch to fall on. Oh, we just don't have a coach. You know, there's just one weekend we were hanging out, talking about the team. Kevin was around, he's like, well, you know, it'd be kind of fun to say that I coached every Southern California team, you know, and won with every Southern California team.
Skinny decided that he wanted to come out.
That's a pretty simple solution, and it's a pretty damn good solution too.
He reminds me a lot of Shane, you know, very calm, smart, calculated type of guy. He's not going to yell at you, he's not going to hit you.
You know, it's not so much chaos, and that's what I really like about it. I like him, how he can come out and we can be down a lot of points, and everybody's breathing hard and panting, and no, I should do this, do that, and he's just like, no, this is what we're doing. And that's just nice, because whether it's the right play or not, it's just nice to have that confidence with someone just, no, this is the play and we're gonna do it. Just him saying that and coming across that way with having the paper and a binder there, I mean, yeah, it's pretty standard stuff, but at the same time, like, when you don't have any order and it's just complete mass chaos, and then all of a sudden you have order, it just feels good.
It turned out to pay off pretty good for MAO.
Achieve a desired position. Wasting all regret.
Damn it. Wait, you were there? Yeah, I get heated sometimes, especially like we weren't having a great year. Someone's like, dude, I thought you were gonna fight that guy. I was like, no. I was so hot, because again, playing like back-to-back out in those things, you get really, really hot, and then when you start yelling and screaming, it's like, oh, now I'm getting really, I started getting dizzy, and I'm like, hold on.
Brian was like ripping his arm pads off and his shirt off and yelling at this guy for 10 minutes straight after the game.
Oh, fucking burning up here, and I knew it was over, and I was like, fuck, I just wanted to throw something, and I don't want to throw my gun or something. Throw my t-shirt on the ground.
Ignoring their cries, you will crawl to meet your goal. the language. On those who practice what you preach, never listen.
It was the first time in X-Ball history that the field was finally different.
I actually really liked that field because I remember on this field, the Doritos, because the A or the X was all the way over there, you had if you had a couple kids that had some balls on them, you could come down that Dorito side. You could come down that A side.
If there was someone down the tape, you kind of got pitched in there and it was really hard to fight out of.
It was really just a big Dorito bunker. But what was cool was you can kind of read what the other team was doing.
Now it was just totally open.
A lot of good aggressive teams were going wide around that corner and just flying down it.
You're looking straight at them, you know where they are. I like looking at people, giving them the finger, doing whatever.
I think someone just kind of like on a program like closes their eyes and like puts shit together. I didn't really care.
So we finally make it to Sunday. Just huge relief, huge relief. Teams like Damage and Impact, who were more of the punching bags for Dynasty, Russians, and Ironmen, are now stepping up to the plate. Impact came back with a vengeance.
Don't try and stop me. No, don't try and stop. All we have holding ourselves down is our
I think a penalty could have been given to Impact.
You cheated me, and then you cheated the next year. You cheated twice. Yeah, you should have got 2 penalties. So you didn't even see me. You didn't even see me coming.
You can't get too upset. You just kind of have to swallow your pride, go to bed early that night, wake up, and just kind of get ready for the next tournament. That's what makes that's what makes winners in the sport. People who can get up after they've fallen down.
every bridge I ever built. I'll sit back and watch them burn. Don't try and stop me. No, don't try and stop. All we have holding ourselves down is our own feelings. All we have to rely on memories I can't forget. Now don't sound so dramatic. You never meant a word you said. Your voice will fade to static. And memories just fade away.
In MAO, we just controlled everybody, and that's when our team's really at their best.
If we make the finals, we're not losing. You're not going to beat us if we make it to the finals.
We dominate teams from start to finish.
End of story. You make it to the finals against us, there's no chance.
Tournament, actually nobody can fight us.
Like, we've all been there. We've won 2 World Cups in a row. We know what it's like to get to the finals. We know what it's like being in the finals. And when we're there, we're not losing.
Ощущения, конечно, великолепные были.
What are you doing? You don't fucking do your funny job.
Well, this is basically the last practice before a World Cup, and we got basically the top 3 or 4 teams here. Impact, who's been head-to-head with us the whole time. Infamous, they've won 1 too, they've been head-to-heads with us. And Russians, who just won 1. So you got basically the 4 best teams here.
We came down a week before World Cup to practice against
Damage, Infamous, and Russians, which is an awesome practice. You get to play against 3 of the better teams in the league. I look at it as the aspect of we're just trying to learn. We're not trying to win points. So we're doing things that we wouldn't necessarily do in the event to see if they're going to work or not. And we take the best of what we did at practice and then we apply it to the event. So I don't worry about getting beat up at practice at all.
It's a great look because, like, you know, you get Impact's look at the game, and then, you know, Tampa's, which is honestly very similar but different at the same time. They were playing pretty well today. It was a really good grind.
In practice, it's a little bit different because your paint, I mean, it depends on how much money this team spends on their practice paint versus how much money they're actually going to spend in the tournament. You know, I've been out there a couple times, get a couple bounces, and really that would, you know, you get a bounce, you bounce a guy that's running to the corner, that could be the game, you know. So it's hard to judge this, but as long as we're down there and we see that we're bouncing people, then we know exactly that we're doing the right thing.
Coming in the World Cup, man, we had quality practices. You know, grinded out there, practicing against damage, then we would do drills. Then we would go home, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing.
It's good to play these teams, but you don't want to go out there and show them everything. I mean, we'll play some teams and they'll show us every single thing they do on the field, and that way once we get there, you know, we know we're going to play that team. It's like, all right, well, they're going to do this, this, and this off the break, and we're ready for all of it, no matter what they take, and we can counter it.
Every time we came out to, you know, what they would call practice when I was a young kid, it was basically a tournament in my head. I wanted to win every game regardless, so basically, you know, it was just at all costs, just win the game, win the game, win the game. And out here, it's more like, okay, what scenarios are we going to run into? You know, at this point, we don't really care whether we win these games anymore.
I actually hurt myself in practice before MAO, and I played all MAO on it. That's why I wasn't able to play a cup.
I pulled my Achilles, so I was out for the tournament. I couldn't play.
I injured myself the week before, just training. It just wasn't getting better, so we made the decision as a team, you know, to sit out and not make it any worse.
Every pro team out there wants to win World Cup. Every kid out there thinks whoever wins World Cup is the best team around. So, I mean, it's huge. I think it's the biggest tournament to win in the world right now. It's definitely World Cup.
It would be the biggest thing in the world. Like I said, Chicago was my first pro win, but it would be amazing in the same year to get 2, especially a World Cup, because a few of the guys on the team are talking about they haven't had one. It's just, it'd be great to be a part of that with them and just they're everything. It'd be great. It'd be amazing.
World Cup means everything to me. That's the only tournament that really matters at the end of the year.
Just winning an X-Ball tournament alone, you know, like, those are hard to come by. But a World Cup and a World Series in PSP would just mean the world to a lot of us. I mean, a lot of us on the team haven't won, even some of the vets.
I've never won a World Cup, ever. That's one of my many goals that I want to accomplish.
I mean, World Cup was just kind of sad. I really am not a fan of that venue. It just doesn't feel the same. But it just feels weird at that flight of the Concords or whatever it's called.
Even if we had the crappiest of years, we could have erased all that by winning World Cup. Nobody would have cared, you know, how we did the previous events. If we won World Cup, it's like the Ironman never slipped up at all.
The first match was against Damage. You know, they're easily arguably a better team this year than us. You know, and they ended up beating us 4-7. Then we play the Russians. The Russians are arguably the best team in the league this year.
We would have had, you know, some miracle shots off the break, you know, calls go our way, maybe bribe the refs, get a few penalties.
Play these Russians, they don't know how to play fucking paintball because they don't. They know how to play 15 seconds of paintball and that's it. They play the breakout and that's it. And you use your fucking teamwork, you use your fucking heart and soul and we beat these guys. Alright?
Gone, you'll find it.
They beat us 3-7.
I hate to say it, they played awesome that event. No one could even touch them.
Then we play Vicious. No one's running away with our division. So we know with Vicious and the Naughty Dogs coming up that if we do good against them, if we can go 2-2 and we have a decent point differential, we'll advance.
Everybody's got the same old story. You're telling lies to feel as lonely. And when I'm gone,
Looking at the points board, we've got to absolutely smoke down Naughty Dogs.
you're just you fall apart until there's nothing left. And when you're gone, you'll find it in yourself to carry on. Carry me home. I'm so far gone. Carry me home. I'm so far gone.
We go out there, we smash them, beat them 7-1. The guys do a great job. They do what they need to do, but it just wasn't quite enough.
There was a three-way tie, I believe. It was us, Tampa, Dynasty. Because Dynasty had more hangs 4, they went on right away, and then we lost to Tampa head-to-head, so then we go home. The 2 best teams with the best point differential should go on. Because if Dynasty's gonna go that way, then we should go there too. But then, so Dynasty went on, and then we lost to Tampa head-to-head, so then Tampa goes on and we go home. I felt completely screwed, I really did. And I felt like Tampa did not deserve to be in there. I mean, if you ask me, we had all 3 the same ties, we had better point differential, we should have gone on.
Paxton and Oliver over there just pleading their case and pleading their case.
You could either be the happiest guy in the world, or you feel like the most cheated guy in the world. You feel like, that it was taken away from you.
It was just a heartbreaking way to end the season.
I honestly don't know what it was. Some of the people maybe were getting a little over it. I mean, we picked up Mouse. Hell yeah, dude, I'm stoked to play with you guys. And then our first practice, we get just stomped, And then we go to Vegas and we lost the Hustle kids. And then he just didn't show up to World Cup. He's like, guys, sorry, I can't come. I'd be embarrassed too. I was embarrassed to play. I was embarrassed after Vegas.
We're not above anything at this point in paintball, we have to take things one step at a time. First goal, get everybody to the tournament. Second goal, go out, win your prelims games, and make it to Sunday. In World Cup, we accomplished that first goal and we were feeling good, Well, 2, because we got everyone to the tournament also. Well, except for Alex. So maybe that goal didn't happen, but yeah. We got one of them.
Winning Huntington Beach in the beginning kind of maybe jinxed us a little bit. Like, it was a great tournament to win, but at the same time, I think a lot of people were like, first event of the year, got the rest of the season in the bag, The Russians should do really well. They have the budget that we have, except they're only playing in a quarter or a third of the events. I know we beat them. We beat them pretty well. I like to be a little more realist about it. Like I know we beat them 3-on-5, and I hope that we can do that the majority of the time. But some of the guys are like, yeah, wear damage, you guys suck.
The best part of fucking winning this is beating the fuck out of people like that. They gave us some fucking gifts, and we'll take that shit. This next game is not a give me either. Just pull yourself out. I'm good with that.
Mentally and physically, we were so prepared to win that. And I think that's what got us to the Final Four. We did everything we possibly could to win Cup.
Hey, we're gonna go over the fucking place right now. You motherfuckers ain't on my shelf. I should jump back and try to French kiss myself.
First game against X Factor World Cup went well. We started out, we tried the GI paint. It was a little brittle in some of the guns. I remember going out the first point, having just a mess of my gun in the corner, put it all back together. Ended up closing the game out. Got the first point momentum. We kept going. I think we ended that match like 7-2.
Buddy, get the gas face. They said it was dead. Now run and tell the sun I'm turning up the light. I might arrive on the plane, train, bus, or bike. You can fuss and fight, but it's just in spite. Cause it functions right when I cup this mic. No feedback, ease back, let the beat crack. But Uncle Sam said he wanna see tax. Make the beeswax, no relax. Run around the map and leave tracks. You can call me Sean like nothing.
I guess on our team who took my spot over there was Nicky.
Like, that's not his typical role, but anyone that has watched him throughout his career knows that he started as a front guy, and he can do that.
Anywhere Nicky goes always looks a little bit funny, but he gets the job done, and that's all that matters. He did. He played really good in that snake.
Turn it up till the cops come. Shotgun, the wrong one. We the hot sauce on y'all's tongue. We don't stop till it's all done. So turn it up till the cops come. You get lost in how awesome I is. You watching like you bought stock in my biz. You caught that sickness, sitting on shit. You'd be better off frying up some littler fish. I'm a big catch. Whew.
We played Aftershock. That was a penalty game for sure.
The beef in the child-sized pieces. You talk cheap, now you need to get your teeth fixed. I don't recognize you or your toy crew. Go ahead, step aside now, let my noise through. Crew and spread like kudzu. Didn't need a gun to put a slug in your guts. Move over, chauffeur, I rolled the coaster. I got older and badder and bolder. Who's the host with the moster? Birds fly to Minnesota just to land on my shoulders. No pressure, it don't get desperate. No special effects.
He really played good, especially when they beat Impact. I told Nicky that was the best that I'd seen Nicky play since maybe he was like on ground zero. Like he was just playing lights out.
Travis was shooting like 1 or 2 guys a game every point it seems. So.
I forgot anything, we'll just put it on the hook. Come on. Shotgun, the wrong one. We the hot sauce on y'all's tongue. We don't stop till it's all done. So turn it up till the cops come. Shotgun, the wrong one. We the hot sauce on y'all's tongue. We don't stop till it's all done. So turn it up till the cops come. You ain't gonna be shit. I'm the best kept secret. Anyone can see it. If I say it loud enough, maybe you'll believe it. Shotgun.
If Impact actually would have won that game, they would have won the World Series title. So for them to lose that game and then go home, it had to have been a long flight home.
We faced off against X Factor.
X Factor made it in the wild card, so we ended up playing them.
Learn to serve them a shame. We built this life over broken
ran up, I think, 4 quick points. I ended up getting a major, I think the 5th point. They ran up 2 points on us. We went back to full 5-body, 5-on-5, and then we closed out the game.
Davey got the major with 150 left because it was me and Davey left. I remember that every time that I see a red flag and I know I'm gonna get pulled, the last thing I just go out with a blaze of glory. I remember standing up and just being like, please, 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 let me shoot somebody. Because you're not technically out, because I didn't get hit. I wasn't sure, you know. Obviously I didn't shoot anybody.
One of our teammates got a penalty, went out there, it ended up costing us, we ended up losing 2 points.
And I remember I put the center guy in, just as I had made it out wide, he came around and saw me going and shot me right in the back right at that second, and he ran straight in with Chad. Chad switched, and he ran straight in and hung the flag with like, what, 10, 12 seconds left? So that was, blew it.
We ended up, you know, going into overtime.
That overtime point, we almost pulled out too. But it was the same thing, like, we took the 4 spots that we knew we could make it to, and then Davey was coming out of the box, and it's like, shit, like, now what do we do? Because we don't have any more spots for her to move to. I think Davey, they almost pulled it off, but we were on our heels the whole game, which was just crap.
I felt like we got cheated. Like cheated. I mean, we cheated ourselves.
I hate coming home being like, they're like, oh, how'd you do your tournament? I'm like, dude, check out that trophy. It says 2004 on it. You know? Look at all these trophies. People come over and be like, man, look at all these trophies. Do you have anything that's recent? Well, these things all say 2005 and 2006. You know? Shut up.
The aftershock game. Well, they'd already beat us earlier in the event. They can beat us twice and they deserve to go on.
We didn't even get off on the right foot, and we were just immediately in the box. And then we think you're getting out of the box, you're back in the box, and there's more guys in the box. There were so much penalties.
We had gotten the penalties so early, it was like domino effect. It was, we were losing and we were trying too hard and trying too much and putting too much on each other.
We all felt going into that game like we had them figured out too. And it just, penalties, man. Penalties really took that tournament away from us.
Can't take anything away from Aftershock. They were playing great the whole event. But at the same time, so were we.
I think Zach got another major.
I'm pretty sure they just had his number to make it rain red flags on him.
They pretty much just stomped us out.
I felt we were going to beat them too. I hate to say I know we were going to beat them because they're a good team and they'd won Chicago that year and they're having a good year. But I felt watching the way they played and watching the way we were playing that we would beat them.
You've wasted the whole season. When you haven't wasted the whole season, but that first thing that goes in your head is like, can't believe this happened. You know, we had such a great chance and we let it slip through our hands.
The game we played with the prelims, we were blowing them out of the water and they were just getting penalties. So to me, in my mind, I was like, we're going to beat whoever we play.
You just want to punch someone in the face.
I think Zach got 1 or 2 majors that game.
The reason that we lost was because people were selfish. Me getting a penalty is selfish for my team.
People are out there trying to win a world championship, you know, and sometimes you get caught doing stuff, sometimes you don't, and it's the risk you take.
And I'm not ever going to get down on any of my teammates for busting their ass and trying to win a game. So, especially with that brittle paint, and sometimes, you know, they just don't feel it.
We were cheating.
Some of our guys got some penalties, and we just had to deal with it. You win and lose as a team.
There was points where I thought we were going to win, and then at times I just didn't think we had it.
I don't ever get that feeling. Goonies never say die. I'll never feel like anything's slipping away. I think anything's possible, and I mean, until that buzzer sounds and it's 7 to whatever, I'm gonna fight 110% until that game is completely over. So like, you can't be disappointed with anybody. Like, we all were there together, and like, we practiced for so long. We went to Orlando, everyone like put their lives on hold, you know? We always do, like every weekend. So if you're out there and you're making practice and you're doing everything you can to be there with your team and to win, you can't be disappointed with your teammates.
We were unstoppable that event. Like, I don't care what team you could put together, you weren't going to beat us at World Cup. We know this team can, you know, shoot bodies on the break, but we can as well. You can't just stay short every single time. You gotta make those risks going out there. High risk, high reward, and especially if you make it out there and they don't, it's almost game over. Especially like a team like that, you trap them in the back and they just get stuck.
I remember pretty much. It was, I don't know, for me it just feels glorious, amazing feel.
It reminded me of 06 when we beat the Naughty Puppies in the finals. I haven't seen anyone dominate like that since then.
We might have shot 7 of them the entire match.
I just feel bad for them because they made the finals and the score was not tied.
It's just a massacre, and I mean, that's 7-0. Like, it almost looked like we didn't need to be there.
I just feel bad because 7-0 is like not final score.
7-0, yeah. 7-0 in the finals, like, I mean, come on, that's embarrassing.
We had a meeting, a team meeting. We had a huddle. Tim would scream and get us all pumped up. Going to that finals game, we never talked about what the Russians did.
Like, there was no meeting. There was no, hey, let's, like, there's no speech. So, like, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what they're doing. This is what we need to do.
We never had a huddle. You know what? No one, like, looked at each other and was like, we're playing first and second, you know? It's just like we're pumped up. We just kind of like, okay, we've got 5 minutes to play. Let's load up pods. Okay, the game starts in 2 minutes. The first 5 go out on the field. The horn went off. And then it was just, we all got shot.
Going into that match, I was like, you know, we're not losing.
I don't know why we just dominate so much.
I was born on a light skin road. I was born with an engineer's goals. I did better than most.
I honestly cannot tell you I was nervous because it went by so fast. I don't know.
That game to me was over in like a second. That's not how World Cup's supposed to be. That's not how the finals game is supposed to go.
Not even stopping at bunkers, like just running all the way down the field because, and looking like I didn't even shoot anybody, but they're all dead.
We shared our cigarettes. Out the window we placed our lights. They wouldn't call our names. Tickets out our shame. So we ran through the lost eyes. Surely the gods would recognize our good intentions. Show them the speckle on our skin. We hesitated. And we never gave away all our assets. So let these simple songs get caught in our heads. Place the flames of
Felt like we didn't even play paintball. It just felt like I just ran out there with, like, without a gun, just got shot. Here's 7 points for them, no points for you. It's over with. Here's your trophy. You guys can go home.
Yeah, this is kind of hell yeah, because they're back to wrestling and then they won cup again.
Finally, you know, they brought the trophy out and popping bottles out there.
So let the simple songs get caught in our heads. Like stuck rings of all worthless beds. All my life never gave a fuck. Someone notice me.
Winning one World Cup is tough, but when you win 2 in a row, that's something else.
It's kind of like a chicken running with his head, you know, chicken with his cut, chicken with his head cut off, running around.
On. God damn it.
The whole camera looks crooked.
Like a lot of people, like I'll tell people like all the time, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Still got a lot to prove, right? The PSP, right? Some things just don't go your way, right? It doesn't go our way, right? You can't have everything you want in life, right? We haven't played this field yet, right? So we can take them out too, right?
Fit right in as the last puzzle to this, pie.
Here's a proposal. We're gonna go back to the Badlands. I promise this time it's not gonna be muddy. It's gonna be level. It's gonna smell good. It's gonna smell awesome.
Learned that one from Paxton.
So much shit happened last year.
Oliver got a penalty. Dynasty didn't play.
They just hate me because I told them I suck so many times. We interviewing right now? Oh shit. Okay.